Welcome to the United Snakes, land of the thief, home of the slaves, grand imperial guard, where the dollar is sacred and power is God. That was one of the infamous lines mentioned by Ali Newman, aka Brother Ali, on his single Uncle Sam Goddamn. It was a single which shook the hip-hop world with its race fist about the American history and American politics altogether. Brother Ali is a Minnesota native rapper who, in the year 2000, signed to the iconic independent label Rhymesayers. And 3 years later, he would release my favorite album from his discography or his catalog titled Shadows on the Sun, signifying him as one of the juggernauts of underground and independent hip-hop. Though I could talk for ages and lengthy description about why I love Shadows on the Sun, I think it's a subsequent album that had a greater impact into the public eye. The Undisputed Truth was released on April 10th, 2007. Up until the release, Ali was struggling with a lot of personal problems, separating from his wife of 10 years, being homeless, and finding custody of his child. I wanted to make an album that gives you no choice but to feel what I'm saying at that given time. Teaming up once again with Ant of the MC and producer duo Atmosphere, the album Undisputed Truth is just about that, the incontestable, the unchallenged truth that Ali is portraying. And this Ant and Ali collaboration would go on further into Ali's discography on albums such as All the Beauty in This Whole Life, Us, the EP Truth Is Here, as well as the EP Champions. The album talks in a lengthy, hardy description of Ali's truth and all facets and dimensions of it, from family, politics, religion, as well as his view on life and how we should live it. Regarding his style, his voice is easily one of his weapons of choice amongst his mastery of flows and punchlines. It's a multifaceted flow that could soothe you with his preacher-like quality, excite you with Ali's energetic cadence of his rhymes and raps, as well as help you raise your fists with his very declamatory and very gallant presence of his cadence that makes you really want to raise your fist and fight for a cause. And you can tell his raps are written from the heart and nowhere else. And speaking of this album in general, talk about a blend between MC and producer. Ant provides Brother Ali with soul-based production that is handpicked to the notes for his Undisputed Truth, littered with samples from revolutionary and sort of popular R&B and soul artists such as Nina Simone, Gil Scott-Heron, and Barbara and Ernie, as well as a couple of rap samples from the legendary and politically charged group Public Enemy. Now, we can't go into the review or album piece or whatever you want to call this without talking the single that propelled Ali and this album up, which is Uncle Sam Goddamn. There was a lot of controversy and sort of backlash regarding this single, but I think it's with these scrutiny and these sort of eyes on Ali's craft that propelled him to be more than just a rapper that can write amazing rhymes and songs, but as well as give people a political awakening. This single has been famously mentioned by more than just the hip-hop and underground hip-hop and mainstream hip-hop community, even so far as news up until today. In 2007, Ali was supposed to do a sponsored tour with Verizon along with Gym Class Heroes. After the singles video was released in the public, Verizon immediately dropped the sponsorship with Ali because they deemed the video, the topic, the lyrics too much. There's a lot of things to cover in this single, from the way Ali raps with his very, I guess, preacher-like flow, but a very aggressive and father delivery from his cadence and his flows as well, like I mentioned before, but as well as the dark Americana Western feel that Ant provides from the twanging guitars and the harmonica hums that is in the background, as well as the steady drum beats that Ant provides in the production. But with that said, I'm just going to give you a couple of my favorite lines that proves you why this single is absolutely mind-blowing. You don't give money to the bums on a corner with a sign bleeding from their gums, talking about you don't support a crackhead. What you think happens to the money from your taxes? What's left get a big-ass plasma to see where they may then rather point the damn camera? Only approved questions get answered. Now stand your ass up for that national anthem. As you can see here, Ali goes into deep commentary about the bleak American history, whether it be greedy capitalistic society, as well as the oppression of freedom. But I think he delivers it with a lot of sincerity, with a lot of passion that you can't deny the heart, the sort of attention to detail he has on this song. The instrumental that Ant provides to Ali in this track is just a perfect blend that it sort of radiates the truth that much more. And speaking of truth, the multifaceted entity that is carried on all throughout this album, the aspect of political truth is not only carried on the track Uncle Sam Goddamn, it's also carried on in tracks such as Freedom Ain't Free and Letter from the Government. Similarly to Uncle Sam Goddamn, the track has a very dark Americana and Western feel to it, with its twangy guitars and vocal hums and samples in the background, and Ali just having this commanding and lowbrow and preacher-like flow that sort of has this quality of a father giving a son a lecture. This whole song reminds me of those instances in movies, or even historically accurately, where prisoners and slaves would sing a tune. Fitting enough, the aspect of modern day oppression or slavery is being presented here. Ali goes into vivid details about how the working class in America is forced to abide by a corrupt system, going into the battlefield, killing innocent people. And at the end of the day, he wants to, from what I interpreted, is that Brother Ali wants us to raise our fists and go against that corrupt system. I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it and burned that man. The way that I live don't concern that man. We gonna have to settle this another way. And he is stomping his foot at the face. He is making sure that he will not fall for the treachery again and again and again. Shit, I'm no smarter. I'm fucking retarded. I just know enough to not eat directly where the dog shits. If Uncle Sam wants to threaten my health, tell him he have to come and get me himself. But the aspect of truth, as I mentioned before, is not only on the aspect of politics. And as a holistic essence, there is no track that crystallizes the aspect of truth and honesty more than the track Truth Is. The a cappella crescendo in the beginning is like an engine revving up for its eventual takeoff to this anthemic masterpiece. Ali is saying whatever he does, whatever he speaks, he does it in the aspect of truth, and there is nothing but the truth from his actions. And he is making a statement to the listeners that he or she, whenever they speak, whenever they do action, they must speak for the truth and from the heart as well. Not nearly a single solitary soul still put the kind of passion to the mic that I hold. One day it'll have to be pried from my cold dead hand until the big man is gold. The people need to see them pure human being. Blood, sweat, love, hate, life, death, joy, pain. The reggae-infused instrumental adds just that bit of groove to an already pummeling and anthemic track. And as I mentioned before, Brother Ali writes it from the heart. And nowhere is that heart being showcased to its wounds, to its sort of scars and whatnots than on the aspect of family truth on tracks such as Walking Away and Fahim. But what's so beautiful about these two tracks is that he knows that he is a person with flaws, and he knows that he is a person with limitations, and that in that he can deliver a song that addresses these family issues, but he knows who is at fault. But to me, he delivers it in a very mature and calming manner. Take, for instance, the song Walking Away, which is a song about his ex-wife. In the song, he talks about in great detail the turmoil, the sort of troubles he had to go through just to keep her by her side. In the song, he even said that in the beginning, he laid out his arms and confessed that he was weak in the aspect of he thought that this sort of romance had a mindset of him being needed instead of this relationship and friendship based romance. But afterwards, he eventually evolved to this loving and caring, powerful and sort of stand-up figure, but unfortunately had to deal with the turmoil with his ex-wife. There's a quote here from the liner notes that I didn't actually see this. This is a quote from Murs. It didn't say what year. I just listened to Walking Away and I almost cried. I was in the middle of writing my record and I tried to write a song that deep, and it's not possible. We all go through a lot, but what sets you aside as an artist from every other human being is your ability to make your struggle universal and interesting. You have to make it real enough to where motherfuckers will want to listen to it again and again, and he defiantly does that. I know that Ali made every sacrifice he could to make his family work. I also know that God doesn't bless ugliness, and now he's been blessed with a beautiful, wonderful wife, and he's happy. And I think this is a very beautiful and very mature way to tackle not only an ex-lover, an ex-wife that you tried your best. your damn best to keep her around. And this sort of effort, in my interpretation, left a sort of shrapnel impact to his son, Fahim. But before going into the track Fahim, I want to talk about the instrumentals for a bit here. The very subdued and quiet delivery by both MC and producer is just an enigma to listen to, and it keeps me hooked every time I listen to it. It's like the best bread and butter combo I've ever heard in any hip-hop record. And his maturity shows because he does not need to have sort of a bellowing cadence or an angry feeling to it. He just lets the production does his thing, and him with his sort of calm cadence deliver his point concisely to the audience. Fahim is easily one of my favorite tracks in this whole entire album. There is a sort of certain wholesome feeling that permeates when Ali raps about his son. It's just a beautiful track about a father speaking wisdom and speaking how thankful he is to his son. The line about them being homeless and Ali having to clean up Fahim's toys from mouse droppings always gets me every time. And towards the end of the track, Ali paints a picture, a very heartbreaking but sort of wholesome picture, in that if Ali, as the father, passes away, he is thankful that he has a son like him. He is forever and ever proud of him, and he will always refer to his son as his brother. I swear, the first time I heard that part, I choked up, and I think I teared up a bit. And going back to the liner notes here, you can find a lot of things with liner notes. That's why I think vinyl and sort of physical copies are amazing. I heard this beat one night at Ant's house, and the song wrote itself. It took 2 nights, and in my heart, I feel like God gave me this song. When I wrote the last line, "It's me and you, brother, for life. So when you put me in the ground, look for me in the clouds." A tear hit the page. When you're truly a parent, your life will never just be yours again. You share it with your children, but they also share theirs with you. Fahim taught me what this life is really about. The aspect of truth is delivered towards his sort of spitterific tracks as well, utilizing truth as a weapon that will sort of behead anybody or any challenger that comes into his ways. And it's prevalent on tracks such as Pedigree, Listen Up, What You Got, the intro track, and Daylight. And what's so ingenious about Ali and Ant's songwriting and sort of production ability is the fact that he can deliver this sort of very cocky and very boastful aspect of hip-hop in a very bombastic and energy-heavy manner on tracks like What You Got, Listen Up, and Daylight, but as well, he can deliver it in a very light, smooth sort of tone and setting on the tracks like Pedigree. Brother Ali and Who's Asking, the textbook definition of brute passion. The future, the past, a true champion is born. Never made, and that's a label, you can't pretend. I think better outside of the box. I rhyme better outside of the booth. There's no hiding the truth. I'm the genuine, positive proof. I buck shots through the roof, set the hostages loose. And finally, the aspect of truth is delivered through his sort of life philosophies on tracks such as The Puzzle. How he says, no matter the many curveballs that life throws at you, it's your job to pick up the pieces of your puzzle, whether it be from your career, from your family, from your friends, anything around you, to sort of complete your puzzle and sort of make your path out of that. And he also delivers life philosophy not only in sort of general terms, he also delivers it from his own perspective and how he views on life. What I mean by that is, with the song Take Me Home, it's more towards his view on life and how he's been living life. The earworm trumpets and guitars are groovy. The hook with Ali on it is infectious. You can tell that Brother Ali and Ant had a blast making this. But in the end, all comes in full circle. He is glad that he's lived the life that he lives with. He is glad that he's been able to deliver the truth to the people, to his friends, to his fans. And that nowhere is clearer than the closing track, Ear to Ear. And what a closer to this very heavy and sort of emotional roller coaster of an album. The way Ali opens up this song is like a huge sigh of relief after all the things he went through. I shed my ex-wife, kept my son with me. Now me smiling ear to ear, now that's something to see. Shit. Okay, in regards to impact and grand scale of things, The Undisputed Truth, in my opinion, did manage to slap the face of the general public about the sort of dark history of politics, as well as dark history of human truth and how we should approach it. But with that said, did it have as much of cultural and sort of hip-hop impact as, say, Jay-Z's American Gangster, or Kanye West's Graduation, or maybe Lupe Fiasco's The Cool? All of this was released in 2007. No, admittedly no. But the fact that an underground hip-hop album has managed to broke to the surface of mainstream attention, not only in hip-hop, is very, very much noteworthy. I mean, really think about that. An underground album that broke into the mainstream not only garnered the attention of the hip-hop community, but as well as sort of the political and sort of medias in general. And impact aside, this is just me speaking from a nerdy, huge fan of this album. Beats, the rhymes, the heart, the passion, the personal stories, the personal struggles. It's just a beautifully woven package. So that's my take and sort of review on Brother Ali's second Rhymesayers album, The Undisputed Truth. Yeah, I could say that because Rites of Passage was sort of a demo. This album piece took a lot out of me. Thank you guys so much for watching this long ass video. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, so I better just shut up. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at WhatTheRobotThinks for more content. So that's it for me. I hope I can do more of these sort of album revisits and head turner series. Yep, that's it from me. Peace!